All right, well, welcome back, and I'm going to go over a couple of quick things. Got a lot of questions, and some of them were asked a lot, so I'm just going to go over those first. The winner of the first giveaway, his YouTuber name was York9x19, so congratulations, man. He got a hold of me. I got the tool shipped out to him, so he was super excited. And stay tuned to the end of this show because we've reached another milestone already, so thank you for that. And I'm going to give away another tool, and what I'm giving away this time is a Milwaukee Sawzall. And that's a tool that I have used all the time, whether you're remodeling or building. It comes in super handy. They make a lot of different blades for them, so you can do all kinds of cuts with them. So we're giving away a Milwaukee Sawzall this time. So it's going to work the same as last time. You got to be subscribed to our channel, and then you have to leave a comment in this video. So if you want a chance to win that Milwaukee Sawzall, subscribe and leave a comment in this video, and good luck. Super excited to give another tool away. That's pretty awesome that we've already reached that milestone. But a couple things. We've got a lot of questions on the house plans, and I'm currently trying to get those put into a CAD system and get them drawn up to scale. So once I get to that point, I'll let everybody know. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the 3 parts to this porch build. And like I said, I'm going to cover the steel on the roof when I start putting steel on the rest of the house. So I'll cover that when I do that. The type of porch this is, it's a post and beam porch, which the most expensive part of this porch is the post and the beam. There's other ways you can build porches, but this is the way I wanted to do it. So there was a lot of interest in cost of the porch and everything, so I figured I'd break it down and tell you what I have into it. Now this is just material, and when I did that first video on what I have into this place up to this point, that included all this material on the porch. But I'm going to break this down just in the porch and try to get it to a price down to linear foot, just so you can have a rough idea what it would cost if you wanted to build a porch like this. So as far as the concrete goes, the porch is 80 foot long and it goes 9 feet out, and I had about 10 yards of concrete. I paid a contractor to do that, and that cost me, it was $5.40 a square foot. Where I live, if you can get somewhere between $5 and $6 a square foot for your concrete poured, that's just where it is here. I have no idea where you're from, if that's consistent or not, but that's what it is here. And so I had $3,888 in the concrete pad underneath the porch. As far as the footings go, I did those myself, and I had 12 footings, which was about 3 yards, and I had $450 in those footings. So total with concrete, between the footings and the pad, the porch itself, I had $4,338. If you have a couple friends that have some experience with concrete, and you do, this is a pretty, for me, this is a pretty easy porch to pour. So if you can get access with a concrete truck, it's something that you could do if you have a little experience, and you know whether if that's in your wheelhouse or not. But if you did do that, you could save quite a bit of money. Here, concrete runs about retails about $124 a yard, so 10 yards, you're looking at about $1,300, probably about $1,400 when tax and all that stuff when you're all said and done. So you could save a substantial amount of money that way. But I had $4,338 in the concrete footings and the porch itself. The wet set brackets, I had 12 of those. Those were 6x6 wet set brackets. They were right around $40 a piece, and so I had $480 in those wet set brackets. And I chose those because I wanted a good, solid base for my posts, And I also wanted to set them out of the concrete. I know a lot of guys put their posts in the concrete. I don't like that. I want my posts up. And that bottom of that bracket actually sits about an 1/8 inch, holds the post about an 1/8 inch off the ground, so all the water that ever gets on it will be able to run off and dry off. So just keep that in mind when you're building the porch. I'm sure these posts will last a long time, but it's just what I like to do. I like to keep my posts out of the ground, and I like to have them in a manner that they can dry off so they won't rot. The posts and the beams I used were true 6x6 rough sawn cedar. And that was the biggest cost of this porch. So all of my posts, I had $1,488 total. They were $124 a piece. And then all my beams were $80 a piece, and I had 18 of those, so that was $1,440. So between the posts and the beams, I had $2,928, which I agree with you, that's a lot of money, but these cedar posts look awesome. I've always wanted a post and beam porch, so I saved up for it, and that's what we did. Now, if that's not something you want to spend your money on, if you just went to green treated posts, got a 6x6 green treated post, you're looking at about $35 for a post versus $124. So you could really get your, and then instead of doing a beam header, if you did like a double 2x6 header, you probably could get down to around $600 or $700 for your posts and your header versus $2,930. So you could have a big savings there if you still want to do a porch. There's ways you can really save. But this, I chose to use the 6x6 rough sawn cedar posts. Now all the framing, so joists, rafters, purlins, the plywood on the roof, the fascia boards, and then the hangers and the synthetic felt I put on the roof, all of that material was $1,352. And those, so my joists and rafters are 8 foot on center, and that includes that A-frame entrance I made. The roof steel, I have $652 in the steel that will go on the roof. You know, if you're obviously the way I did this was made for a post frame building. If you're going to put something like this on a house, it's going to vary a little bit because the way you're going to tie the porch into your house is going to be a little different. And you probably, most likely, are going to do a 2 foot on center truss or a 4 foot, something like that, that's consistent with your house. All the trim, so like my inside closure strips, outside closure strips for my steel, ridge cap, end wall, eave trim, sidewall trim, the valley flashing, my snap ridge, all my soffit, my fascia, and my J trim comes out to $1,135. All of that stuff is going to be pretty consistent no matter what kind of post you choose. If you choose to do a 6x6 treated post and 2x6 headers, you might want to trim them out with aluminum or post covers, which is going to be an additional cost, but it's still going to be a lot cheaper than doing the 6x6 cedar, rough sawn cedar. And then the last thing, so up to this point, I have a total of $10,831 in this porch. The one thing that I haven't decided on what I'm going to do is for the ceiling. And I can't put the ceiling up until I get all my wiring and stuff done anyway, because I want to put can lights in the porch, which there's probably going to be 8 to 10 can lights, I'm assuming. And, you know, that's going to roughly cost me $20-$30 a piece. So probably $300-$400 for all the lighting that I want to put up and outlets, because I want to put outlets for like Christmas lights and stuff like that. So my two choices that I'm down to for the ceiling is, one is a cedar ceiling, and that's going to cost $1,745 if I do a cedar ceiling, which is what I really want to do. But we're going to have to see where we're at when we get to that point. Or a steel ceiling. I have the steel for the ceiling right now, which I have $570 in. But I'm not 100% sure that that's what I want to do. If I do a cedar ceiling, the total cost of this porch would be $12,576. And if I do go with the steel, it's going to be $11,400, which that is what I have planned right now, is the steel ceiling, and that's what I've already paid for. If we break this down by linear foot, we're looking at $157 a linear foot for a post and beam porch. So true 6x6 rough sawn cedar post and header. So $157 a linear foot. That's with concrete, the footings, the wet set brackets, all your framing, your steel. If you did a cedar ceiling, that A-frame is included in that. If I went with the steel that I already have, it'd be $142 a linear foot. So, about $15 cheaper. Hopefully that helps you guys. I know that's a lot of money, but for me, when I was designing this house and planning for it, I wanted a wraparound porch, post and beam. And that's the cool thing about doing your own plans, is you can design your house to look and to be exactly what you want, and you shouldn't worry about what other people think about it. We're all different. We all have different opinions. We all have different, thought processes. And for me, this is what my wife and I decided we wanted to do, and it was just part of the package. And that $11,400 that we spent on this porch was part of that $132,000 that we have in this house up to this point. So it's really not that big of a deal to me. I feel like, for the amount of money I have in this place, this wraparound porch was, it is a big deal. We're gonna spend a ton of time out here and really enjoy this.